from Mahmoud Hammadi School, and I'd like to welcome you here, our dear students at Syrian Educational Platform. Our lesson today is for grade 12, and today we'll study grammar in Unit 4 and Unit 5. Let's start. So, we'll study in Unit 4 explanations and results, and in Unit 5 explaining possibilities. Okay? Let's start with the first part. We use the following words and phrases to introduce explanations. So, what do we use to explain? To explain explanations and to write results, explanations, etc. Okay? Let's here start by number 1. In order to, and it is followed by infinitive. Okay? Infinitive, the verb in the zero form. Notice this example. Some people move to greener areas in order to survive. Notice here, in order to survive. To, okay? So in order to here means also to. Okay? Some people move to greener areas in order to survive or to survive. So it is followed by infinitive. Okay? Now, number 2, because it is followed, this word, it is followed with the clause. So the students should write after because, subject, verb, and complete the sentence. Okay? Notice this example. We need to produce more food because there are more people to feed. In another way, because there are more people to feed, we need to produce more food. And here, how do students study this? Students, okay, should study these words to choose between brackets or to complete the sentence with the clause. Okay? So, in order to, I repeat, in order to, after it, infinitive. Because after it, clause. Now, to, as I said before, to means in order to, the same meaning. In order to or to. It is followed by infinitive. Notice this example from our lesson. Trees are cut down to make more agricultural land. So what is followed after to? What comes after to? Infinitive. To make. To make. Okay? So, in order to, because, to, we use these words, okay, to introduce explanations. To introduce explanations. Now, we use the following words and phrases to link actions with results. Results, okay? Causes and effects. Now, let's see. Number 1, so that. So that. And after it comes clause. Notice this example. The soil is destroyed so that the land cannot be used for growing crops. Notice what comes after so that? Clause. Okay? Not infinitive. Okay, we should write after it clause. Subject, verb, and continue the sentence. Number 2, to be the cause of. To be the cause of here, we don't need clause. Okay, we don't need clause. Notice this example. The activities of human beings are often the real cause of desertification. So notice, I here continue with one word, okay? Desertification, noun. 3, with the result that, okay, here we should write close. Farmers tend to over-cultivate their land, with the result that the soil becomes unproductive. So, as you can see, after because, after so that, after with the result that, we need clause. I repeat, after because, after so that, and with the result that, we should write clause. Okay, clause. Pay attention to this. And after, in order to infinitive. Is it okay? So, these words to introduce explanations and results. Let's move to do tasks. Notice here. Complete these sentences using one of the words or phrases from the list. What are the words in the list? We have because and remember. After because, there must be clause. In order to, there must be infinitive. Okay? So that after it, clause. To, as in order to, after it comes, okay, infinitive. With the result that clause comes after it. Notice A, let's start by A. Okay, and try to answer with us. The Amazon rainforest has an important effect on the climate of the world. It covers such a large areas. Okay, now, okay, what is the suitable word here? Okay, look at it carefully. The Amazon rainforest has an important effect on the climate of the world. It covers such a large area. Notice, after the gap here we have it, subject, covers. So here we have a clause. Okay, we have a clause. So we don't need in order to or to. So the Amazon rainforest has an important effect on the climate of the world. What is the most suitable word here? Because. Let's write it. Okay, because. Okay, now let's move to the second sentence. Large areas of the forest have been cut down. Okay, the soil is now dry and dusty. Notice, large areas have been cut down. Large areas of the rainforest have been cut down. Okay, so what is the result? So we should here write with the result that, with the result that the soil is now dry and dusty. So remember, after because, after with the result that, after so that, we need clause. After to, after, in order to, we need infinitive. Now let's move to the other sentence. The rainforest have been cut down. Make. Notice here. Okay, make more farmland. Here we don't have clause. We have here infinitive. So what is the suitable, okay, phrase here or words? Okay, the rainforest has been cut down in order to or to. We can here use either in order to or to make more farmland. Now, more land. Farmers need more land. They can grow more soybeans. Farmers need more land, okay? So that, okay? So here the answer, so that they can grow more soybeans. Lodgers cut down trees. Notice, and if you remember lodgers, what do we mean by lodgers? People who want the wood, okay? Lodgers cut down trees, sell the wood. Notice here we have infinitive. We have infinitive, so we can't use because, so that, or with the result that. What is the suitable answer? Lodgers cut down trees in order to. So here we can use either in order to or to. In order to. So, remember, after in order to or to, we should write or we should choose the infinitive, okay? We should have infinitive. But after, so that, with the result that, because, we have clause, okay? Now, let's move to another task. Answer these questions using the words in brackets, okay? And one of these words or phrases. Notice here, this exercise in your book. And notice, in the exam, you have to complete the sentence or choose between brackets, okay? Notice here, we have the words, we have because, in order to, so that, to. We want to answer these questions, okay? Notice question A. Why didn't Fadia go to school yesterday? So if you have a sentence like Fadia didn't go to school yesterday, how can you complete the sentence? Why didn't Fadia go to school yesterday, or Fadia didn't go to school yesterday? What is the suitable answer? Let's see. Because she felt ill. So students in the exam should complete the sentence, okay, with the clause. Because she felt ill. She felt ill. Notice here, my question or the first part of the sentence in the past here. So my answer, okay, should be in the past tense. Okay, so Fadia didn't go to school yesterday because she felt ill. Let's move to B. Why did you go to the post office? Why did you go to the post office? Buy stamps. Let's see how can we answer. Because I wanted to buy stamps. So I went to the post office because I wanted to buy stamps. Okay? After because, I have a clause, subject, verb, and then we complete our clause. Why did Ahmed go to the airport? Why did Ahmed go to the airport? Because he wanted to meet his mother. We can say in order to meet his mother or to meet his mother, but here I prefer, okay, I prefer here because to my answer with because. At the final exam, you have to complete the sentence with because, okay? And if you have to choose between brackets, notice, look at the word after the brackets. If you see infinitive, so you can choose in order to or to. But if you see clause, so you can't choose in order to or to. Now, D. Why do people write things in their diaries? Why do people write? Okay? so that, or we can say people write things in their diaries so that they don't forget important things. Why was Omar's letter so difficult to read? Why was Omar's letter so difficult to read? Because he wrote it very quickly. So Omar's letter was so difficult to read because he wrote it very quickly. Here, okay, another exercise for the same rule. Complete sentences with one of these words or phrases, okay? Notice here, in the future, sea levels will rise. In the future, sea levels will rise. The polar ice is melting. So what is the suitable word? Because. In the future, sea levels will rise because the polar ice is melting. B. People are cutting down forests. Notice here we have this word have, infinitive. So, people are cutting down forests in order to have more land for growing food. Sentence C, many people recycle their rubbish, use up. Also here we have infinitive. Use up the words resources in order not to use up the words resources. D. Scientists are trying to produce new fuels. People can continue to use their cars without damaging the environment. Notice here we have clause. Scientists are trying to produce new fuels so that people can continue to use their cars without damaging the environment. Some people are moving out of their homes on the coast. Escape. Notice here, escape. We have infinitive. So, okay, in order to escape future floods. We should stop burning coal and oil, cause infinitive, so in order not to cause more global warming. Okay? The last one, scientists are worried about climate change because it is a threat to life on Earth. So, as you can see, after to, we have infinitive. After because, so that, with the result that, we have clause. Okay? Now, we have finished first section of our lesson. Now let's move to the second part here in Unit 5, explaining possibilities. Explaining possibilities. What do we mean by explaining possibilities? Here we have, okay, 3 words. We use modal verbs. We have modal verbs here, must, can't, and might, okay, to explain possible truths. Yeah, must, can't, and might too. Okay, must. If we are sure that something or it is true, something is true, we use must. When we are sure that something is not, we are sure that it isn't, something is not true, we use can't. If we are not sure, okay, we use might. Let's see. Number 1, we use must plus infinitive or must and after it have plus past participle to talk about things which we are almost sure are true. So when we are sure that things are true, we use must. Okay, notice here this example. He must earn quite a lot of money to be able to afford that car. They must have come from somewhere hot like Africa. Okay? Number 2, we use can't. Can't plus infinitive, or can't, and after it have with past participle to talk about things which we are almost sure are not true. We are sure that these things are almost not true. Notice, it can't be easy designing and building bridges. Okay? It can't be easy. We are sure that this thing is not easy. They're complicated structures. They can't have finished their lunch already. They only started eating 5 minutes ago. Now the third one, we use might and after it infinitive, or might and after it have, plus past participle when we are unsure, okay, whether something is true or not. She might be French. She has a strange accent, but we are not sure that she is French. He's not usually this late. He might have got stuck in heavy traffic. So, I repeat, if we are sure that something is true, we use must. If we are sure that something is not true, we use can't. And if we are unsure, okay, about something, we use might. Notice, okay, to explain it in another way, okay, it can't be an interesting place to work. It can't be. It can't be. So here, you feel sure it isn't. So here, the right answer is 2. So it can't be an interesting. I'm sure it is not an interesting place to work. Notice the second one. It must be an interesting place. It must be, so I'm sure that it is interesting. Okay? So here, number 1, you feel sure it is. Now here, now as you can see, I explained it before. So after must, after can't or might, we can have infinitive with 0 or have plus past participle. What is the difference? Let's see. The crows might have spoiled it for me. Here we have after might have with the third participle. So you think it was possible in the past. In the past. The crows might spoil. Here we have the infinitive. So it is possible in the future. Okay? So when our sentence in the past, we are talking about something in the past, we use after must, after can't, after might have, with the past participle. With the past participle. Okay? So I repeat. If our sentences, okay, in the past, so after must, after can't, after might, we have and the past participle. Now see, some people might have come from Africa. Some people must have come from Africa. Notice here, as we explained, we use might, okay, you think it was possible. You are not sure. You think it was possible. Some people must have come, must, so we are sure. Okay? We are sure. So, must if you are sure that something is true. Okay? Can't when you are sure that something is not true. When you are unsure about something, so we use might. Okay. Now let's see this example. We have this exercise. Write sentences to explain these situations using the words in brackets in your answers. Notice here, try to answer without looking at as it is given to us between brackets. The phone is ringing. It's probably your brother. He usually. It's probably. You're not sure. So, it might be my brother. B. Someone's ringing your doorbell. You're sure. You're sure it is the postman. You're sure. So, it must be the postman. It must be the postman. C. There is an important football match in your town tonight. You think the roads will probably be very busy. So you are not sure, okay? The roads might be busy. Your friend said, notice here our sentence in the past. Your friend said she would phone you, but she hasn't. You are sure she hasn't forgotten. You are sure she hasn't forgotten, so she can't have forgotten. Okay? Now, someone waves to you from a car. It looks like your friend's father's car. Looks like. So, you are not sure. It might be my friend's father's car. Your sister has worked very hard. You feel sure that she has got good grades in her exams. So, she must have got good grades. You hear a car approaching, but you know it isn't your uncle's car. Okay? You're sure it isn't your uncle's car, so it can't be my uncle's car. A new building is going up in your neighborhood. You think it is probably. Okay? So, they might be building a school. Okay? Let's move to another exercise. Here, we want to choose the correct modal verb. Here, choose between brackets. Okay? A. Did you speak to Mahmoud this morning? He said he was going to phone you. He can't have phoned or must have phoned me this morning. I was at home and I would have heard the telephone. So, what is the right answer? He can't have phoned. Now, conversation B. When are you next in town? I may be or must be coming next month. If I do, I'll let you know. So, here the right answer I may be. Okay? May be. Now, conversation C. I've looked everywhere for the letter I wrote to my uncle. Don't worry. If it's not here, the letter. If it's not here, you can't have posted or must have posted it. So, if it's not here, you must have posted it. Now, the next conversation. You might be or must be exhausted. You've been working very hard recently. I'm all right, thanks. So, you must be. I've tried to contact Alia, but she isn't at home. You never know. You never know. You're not certain. You are not sure. So, she might have forgotten. Okay? So, must if we are sure about something, sure that something is true. Can't, we are sure that something is not true. If we are unsure, okay, we use might. Okay, by this we have finished our lesson. I hope you get the benefit. Thank you, our dear students.